You will notice that the space in between 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the Kabbalah Sephirot is called Dat. There is a reason for this. Dat is all the numbers of the Sephirot in one. It is not given a number in the Sephirot. It is where practitioners of magic claim to get their power and enlightenment from. Basically, it is the occult god. What is the name of this god? He goes by many names. The Jewish Babylonian Talmud has named him Metatron. They claim that he is the angel that God speaks through. The Catholic Church has adopted this occult belief as well. The Sephirot itself is located inside Metatron's cube. Now, Metatron is simply a title this would-be god claims. He is usually called Lucifer. Followers of the Kabbalah do not see Lucifer as evil. Lucifer actually means light bringer. This name comes from the Bible, referring to a fallen angel called the morning star. Now, morning star, or stars, is used multiple times in the Bible to describe angels. Morning star seems to be an honorific rank. Jesus refers to himself as the bright morning star at the end of the Bible to separate himself from other angels. Followers of the Kabbalah, as well as New Age religions, believe that from Lucifer they are enlightened. If you doubt this, simply type in Metatron in a YouTube search field. You are going to see some whacked out theories and beliefs that people have. This angel also goes by the name King of Tyre, or Tyrus in Latin. Now, the king of Tyre is found in the Bible in Ezekiel chapter 28. This chapter is a complete history on the angel who would call himself Metatron and Lucifer and his fall. Tyre in the Bible is literally the story of Atlantis. The city of Tyre, destroyed by Alexander the Great, was the last vestige of Atlantis and was foretold by Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapters 26 through 27 is about Atlantis itself. Isaiah chapter 23 is also about Atlantis. It talks about how the original Atlantis was destroyed in a flood and will be sought but never found. It talks about how other nations tried to continue the legacy of Atlantis, including Tyre, and they were also destroyed. In Isaiah, it tells us that in the end times, believers in the king of Tyre and Atlantis will again try to take over, but they will be destroyed forever. Atlantis is not the happy-go-lucky place that followers of the Sephirot would have you believe. They used manipulation, money, and power to put the entire known world at the time under an iron fist. Plato is not the source to go for information about Atlantis. The Bible is. The prophet Isaiah wrote about Atlantis hundreds of years before Plato even lived, and the details in Plato's story are almost exactly the same. History has tried to hide the real identity of Atlantis, and I remember in my college history courses, I learned about the brutal sea people that the Egyptians encountered, but the professor had no idea who they were, and neither does any other historian. Now stay with me here, and I hate to use a line from The Matrix, but Kansas is about to go bye-bye. We are going to represent Dat and the Kabbalah Sephirot with an I. Why? Because this is what believers in the Sephirot and magic represent it with. Let's now take a look at the Sephirot with the sacred geometry filled in, and see what kind of interesting patterns we can find around Dat. Now, everybody knows this symbol. This is the Baphomet, or Satanic Star. Dat, or Lucifer, is located on the crown of its head. Don't worry, we will be getting back to aliens very soon. I am showing all of this to you for a reason. This is the bottom and top of the Sephiroth. They are pyramids. Now, people around the world, including ancient Egypt and the Mayans, did not build pyramids for no reason. They were honoring Atlantis, which the Bible calls Tyre or Tyrus. There is a reason the pyramids in Giza and ziggurats on the other side of the world followed the same sacred geometry. They were honoring their god Lucifer. Here you see inside the pyramid at Giza, and in the middle of the pyramid is where the king is buried. Here is the cover to Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. And finally, the symbol of the Bavarian Illuminati, with the Eye of Dat, or Lucifer, located in the middle of the pyramid. Now we have established that the bottom and the top of the Sephiroth are pyramids. Now what do we get when we combine the two? We get the Star of David. This is not a symbol from the Bible. This symbol was used by the Rothschild family, and you can find out more about them in my favorites on my YouTube channel under Criminal Rothschilds. There is a reason that Jews around the world protest this symbol. They know where it originated from, and they are not happy about it. It is found on the Israeli flag, and it stands for man-made Zion. We also find the Freemason compass on the Sephiroth. Freemasons will tell you that the G stands for God. It stands for their God, and whom they view as the architect. Where is the G located? On the Eye of Lucifer. We also find the Star of David in two places on the back of our US dollar bill. One is obvious on the right side. The other, not so much. When you complete the Star of David, it spells out the anagram for Mason. There is a reason they put New World Order on it. This symbol was used once the Federal Bank, which was the last of 3 private banks owned by the Rothschild family, was firmly entrenched as the financier of the United States. Now, every U.S. president who tried to stop these private banks from controlling the money of the United States and attempted to print money from our own government instead was killed, or an assassination was attempted. The last time this happened was with JFK, and he signed Executive Order 1110. That is a story for another time, though. Now, what do we also see on the Sephiroth? Star Trek. We have the pyramid, and then we have the morning star in the middle of the pyramid. Now that you are onto them, you're going to see a pattern. You will see the symbolism everywhere. The bottom of the Kabbalah is an upside-down triangle, and it represents the coming of their god Lucifer, whom they think will give them immortality. I saw this evident in the new movie Iron Man 2. Tony Stark in the movie makes a new element, and of course it is an upside-down triangle. The official site of Alkabir Warp Theory. The logo is the pyramid with an ascending star that is traveling through the middle of the pyramid. Perhaps they believe their god Lucifer is going to provide them with the power to actually make a magical warp drive work. Basically, they are nuts. Now, what does this have to do about aliens? We all saw these supposed alien aircraft in the Phoenix Lights. These objects actually made mainstream news, and they did this for a reason. Now, what did the aircraft look like? Someone got a good photo of one in this shot. Now, what does this aircraft look like? It looks like the open triangle at the top of the Sephiroth. Are you really surprised at this point?